All right, looks like we're live. Happy Friday, everyone. If you are watching on the replay, what I'm going to be talking about today is just some of my favorite tools for content creation. And over the years, I've collected a bunch of different tech and tools and things like that. And there's been some things that have been absolute game changers, and then there's been some things that are just a total waste of money. So, in this video, what I'm going to be talking about are some of my favorite tools that I have right now that are really helping me with creating content. And so, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and get right into it. The first one that I have here is this lens pen. And this thing was actually gifted to me, but this thing is an absolute game changer. If you are someone that just does anything with video, you're definitely going to want to have one of these in your toolkit because it's not ideal to just use your shirt, or I mean, you could use like a microfiber cloth if you want, but this thing is really cool because it attaches to a place inside of your camera bag, or you put this in your pocket, and it's you can just really easily clean your lens. So you have one side on here that is the side. So basically what I'll do is I'll just kind of like breathe on the lens a little bit and just kind of like rub out or buff out a spot, and then just wipe it off really quickly like that. And then the other side here, it actually has a brush. And a pro tip, never put your fingers on the brush here, because what'll happen is whenever you're going to brush off your lens, you'll actually smear some oil onto your lens, and it'll just be a lot harder to clean. So this is a lens pen, super clutch when it comes to creating content. And I think I have it pulled up here on Amazon. Let me go ahead and share it on my screen. Right now, it's just going for like $9.99. First, I need to start the conversation off by saying that none of this content or none of this is being sponsored. None of these tools. This is all my honest opinion. No one's paying me to say anything about any of these products. It's just my feedback on what's been helpful for me. Do what you will. There will be some links down in the description if you want to check out these. There'll be affiliate links, so I do get a bit of a kickback if you want to support the channel, but I'll have the links down in the description as well. But showing the lens pen, we have it. It's like $9.99. This is something. It's got some pretty good reviews. There's other lens pens out there, but you don't necessarily have to get this one. But I definitely recommend having a lens pen in your toolkit. Now let's see what we have next. The next thing I have on the list is the PJY Tech. I think that's how you say it. The Mantis Pod 2.0. So if you're into like vlogging and stuff like that, this thing is really clutch. I used to have the Mantis Pod 1.0, but it didn't have this little ball head on top. And so all you have was like these three settings here. Like you could adjust it like this, and you can do a lot of different things with this, like to adjust it. But I really like that you can kind of adjust this, and you can use the ball head to make sure that everything is stable. Because before it wasn't the Mantis Pod 1.0, at least maybe I was using it wrong. I don't know, but I couldn't get it to ever be level. So now that they put this ball head on here, it's really easy. I have on my camera here, it has like a quick release plate that you can just attach it to really quick. And then it actually has a button on here to where you can lock it into place. So this thing is really nice if you're into like vlogging or anything, or if you're just looking for something that can sit on your desk. Super helpful. I wish that this one actually had like a way to be able to raise it up slightly so I could set it on the desk. That would be cool. They do have some other tripods out there like that. This one is a little bit more expensive though. I really, and this is probably one of my favorite pieces of tech, just because like I can take it with me anywhere, and it does, like I can hang it from a door. There's just many things that you can do. Let me go ahead and I'll pull it up here on Amazon real quick. But right now, if you look at it, I think it's going for like $89.95, which is, again, it's a little bit more expensive, but they do have other options that are out there that are really good. But getting yourself one of these little vlogging tripods is super clutch whenever it comes to creating content, because you can use it for in your office, or you can use it out on the go as well. Let's see what we got next on the list. So next we have, oh yeah, the Peak Design camera strap. So this thing is awesome. It took me the longest time to get this, but if you've ever, let me know down in the comments, or if you're watching the replay, let me know down in the comments as well. Have you ever used one of those Canon straps that come with a camera, or one of the Sony straps? Well, if you have, those things are a pain in the butt, because it takes forever to put one of them on, and it takes forever to take it off. But with this little Peak Design camera strap, hopefully I get all this in the shot. You have this really nice adjustable camera strap that you can just kind of move around and reposition it really quickly, and then lock it into place. But then you also can put these little Peak Design guys, these little plastic tabs, and these things are really strong and durable. I was I kind of tested them, pushed them to the limit, and they're pretty strong and durable. But all you have to do is just take the end of your camera strap, stick that little circle into the tab. Let's see if I got enough hands here to do all this. And basically what you're going to do, there we go. And it kind of locks into place. And then it just holds your camera there. And then whenever you want to, let's say you want to take your camera strap off, pull that guy out, quick and easy. I love these guys. I use this all the time, whether if I'm doing weddings and stuff like that. Depends on what my setup's going to be, but this is a really good camera strap. Not sure what it's going for right now. I'll pull it up on Amazon. Right now on Amazon, let's see. That's not the right one. Well, I'll just do a manual search. Camera strap. Yeah, so I think the one that I have here it's one of these two, but this one right here looks like it's fine. The $44.95 one, a little bit expensive. No, this one's not the one that I have, but this one looks like it's pretty good too. But it's just really helpful, as you can see in the pictures, that it's like, it just makes it really simple. I think this one you can attach to actually or you can put on the bottom plate of the camera where the tripod mount is, and you can sling it across your body like so. But I really love this camera strap because it's just so much easier than having to take that Canon or that Sony strap off, which is such a pain in the butt. Let's see what we got next. Let me know if are you guys getting any value from this? Let me know in the chat if you're getting any value from any of this at all, or let me know where you're watching from. Let's see. Shutterstruck, been watching your channel since you created that TV effect in Premiere Pro. Thanks so much, man. That the CRT TV effect, that's still one of my favorite effects. It sucks that with the new Premiere Pro update, there's a whole bunch of like workarounds and stuff that you have to do to be able to recreate the effect. I know I've been getting a lot of questions from you guys on how to create that and do it in the new version of Premiere Pro. And that's something that I've definitely, it's not going unnoticed. I'm just been doing some tests and stuff to see if I can recreate the effect in a way that it doesn't come off as like a gimmick, or, it looks just as good as what was previously done in Premiere. There is a way, not to go on a tangent or anything, but there is a way to actually go back and I can't remember the guy's name, but to where you can take the old obsolete effects and put them back into your current version of Premiere Pro. But I'll save that maybe for another video or something like that. But thank you so much for hopping on the stream Shutterstock. Now, moving on to the next, we have the DJI mic. And this one is not the new DJI mic 2. This is just the original DJI mic. I bought this. It comes with this cool little pouch here that it holds everything. So you got a little this cable here connects it to your camera if you want to have your transmitter and receiver connected that way, or it just has internal recording, which is why I love this mic so much. So let me pull it out of the bag. I'm totally unprepared here, as you can tell. It has this little bitty mic, which is awesome because it has this little magnet on the back. You can just clip it onto your shirt if you want, which makes it really easy for like run and gun stuff. You've probably seen this all over social media, but it's really easy to slap that guy on there. And all you have to do is just turn the power on, and then you can just hit record on the side. And then what you do is you'll just take your charging cable, which I think I have it over here. Yep, I have the charging cable over here. But you'll just take your cable and you'll plug it into your computer, and you can just pull that audio straight from inside of here. You don't have to worry about it going straight into the camera or anything like that, which is pretty cool. I really like this mic because it just makes things a lot easier. Now, for me, just because I'm like, I just want to make sure that I always capture the audio. I still try to capture it in camera as much as possible. But if you want to just like use like your smartphone or something, and you don't want to have to worry about it with the camera, you can just use your smartphone, talk into this here. You can connect this to a smartphone too, don't get me wrong. But if you're just looking for something that's quick and simple, talk right into the mic, and then not have to worry about the bad audio in a phone or something, you can do that here. And then it comes with this little wind muff here. It's technically called a dead cat, I think. And you can just attach this to the top. See if I can get this attached on. Yeah. And then you can talk right into the microphone, and you don't have to worry about the wind destroying your audio or anything like that. Now I'm going to very quickly, let me just do this real quick. I'll show you how you can take the magnet and you can just kind of stick it to your shirt. So run this underneath here and just kind of stick that on there. I'm sure you've probably seen this already, but this is nice. I just bought the single one because I didn't need the dual. And and this is still really, really high quality audio and stuff. So you don't necessarily, it's just, you could get the DJI mic 2s. I'm just sharing this one because this is the one that I have, but this one does the job really, really well in certain situations that I'm in. Couldn't justify upgrading to the DJI 2, but it just depends on your situation. This one's not very expensive, especially if you want to just get the one. I'll go ahead and pull it up on Amazon real quick. Let's see. Yeah, the DJI mic is going for like $159. It comes with the actual transmitter itself and the receiver. Sorry, it's just being, there we go. Yeah, so it's got the receiver here and then the transmitter. And it comes with this bag here. It comes with the charging or the cable to charge it and everything like that. And it also comes with an attachment to where you can attach it to a smartphone or USB-C. So it's actually Lightning and USB-C, but kind of expensive. You know, $159 isn't very cheap, but it's still a really good mic. I'm going to quickly run out of space over here. So let me just kind of reorganize real quick. Again, if you guys are enjoying this, let me know down on the stream. Let's see, Shutterstock. DJI just launched the Mic Mini as a budget alternative. We can get that as well. Yeah, the new Mic Minis are great. I think it's DJI's answer to a response to Hollyland, the new Hollyland mics. I'll pull those up real quick too. These DJI Mic Minis. Yeah, these are really nice. These are the Hollylands here. They've become really popular, like the Lark M2s. And so DJI came out. The big thing that I don't like is just the big DJI branding that's on these. Hollyland, I like that what they did is they have like a sticker you can put over top of their branding, and it just looks a little bit more conspicuous. But yeah, I'm sorry, inconspicuous. And so just one of those things that, you know, I think these mics are great as well. Thanks for mentioning that, Shutterstock, because those are definitely mics that I'm looking into getting as well. Joe Wynn, Sam, hello. Thanks for hopping on the stream. Appreciate you for being here. Let's see. What do we got next on the list? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so the next on the list I have is the Sony a7 IV. And this guy is a beast. I got a video that I'm going to be posting here soon, so I won't talk about this camera too much, but this is my main effort. This is my main or daily driver. This is the camera that I use, the Sony a7 IV. And the reason why I use this camera is because I do a lot of photo and a lot of video work, and this checks all the boxes. So it's not the cheapest camera, but it's also not the most expensive. I'll pull off my shelf here real quick what I kind of started with. This was the camera that I started with right here. This is the Sony a6500. This is still a really good camera. I've used this at weddings. It's still really good for photography. Doesn't have the best video specs compared to other things on the market. It doesn't have 10-bit 422. It doesn't have, like, you can't really use S-Log3 in this camera, or S-Log2, I think is all that's offered in this camera, but it's not that great for color grading and stuff. So this is just a really good photo camera, but I really like the a7 IV because all the lenses that I had for this camera, I could take over and use on my a7 IV. And so I got the small rig cage on this just because I can put like a top handle on top. And then I can also attach these little guys to the cage as well. But the cage just allows me to be able to put and modify and put all kinds of different things on here. But really good camera. Can't recommend this camera enough. There's other options out there that are comparable. Like some people will argue that, you know, you should just get the A7R5, which, you know, that is a good camera, but it's a lot more expensive. And I couldn't justify upgrading to that camera at this point in time. Then there's also like the what was the other one that I've been looking at? Let me just see. Hold on. I'll find it real quick. But yeah, what do you guys think about the Sony a7 IV? Have you guys looked at the Sony a7 IV at all? Let me know what your thoughts are. Because I'm thinking about here before too long, I'll probably be upgrading to something else. But you know, it's checked all the boxes for me. I've taken that thing up to Wyoming, and I've done landscape photography, weddings. I've done so many different and obviously it's the camera that shoots all these YouTube videos. I have a Sony a7 IV actually filming this right now, and it's the one that I use for all my YouTube videos. So yeah, the Sony a7R5 is like the main competitor for it, and there's talks that maybe the a7 5 may actually come out this year, but I don't know that it's going to be much of an upgrade. I'm not sure because there's many reasons, but you know, if they do an upgrade, it may not be as big of an upgrade as the Sony A7R5. So I don't know. We're just gonna have to see how it plays out. But we'll just go ahead and let me show you what it's going for right now on Amazon. Right now, it's going for about 2,200. You can definitely find this thing used, and it's still good used for like $1,700. Just depending on if you're looking at like eBay or if you're looking at like B&H. Let me just type in B&H. We'll go here and we can look at the Sony A7 IV. And then we can look at it. I might be looking at the wrong thing. Hold on. Let's go over to used. And then let's type in the Sony A7 IV. Shutterstock said, I used to have it, but I had issues with low light, so I jumped on to the A7S III as a hybrid and FX30 for daily. Yep, those are, that's the big thing. It really just depends on the type of shooter that you are, because I agree, the A7S III and the FX30, those are really good options for the video side of the house. And there's a whole lot of arguments around it, just as far as like, is the Sony A7 IV worth it or not? But I would just say it just really boils down to, and again, like I said, I'm gonna make a whole video about this, but it really just depends on the type of shooter that you are. For me, I feel like that if you're more of a hybrid shooter, you do more photo and you're not doing a whole lot of low light stuff, or if you're not too bothered by having a little bit of a crop with your 60 frames per second like frame rate, then maybe you just go with the A7 IV. But I've kind of been able to adapt to it just by having certain lenses and stuff. Looking at it right here on B&H, it's still staying around like the $2,000 ballpark. So it's not that cheap, but I imagine this price is probably going to go down later on throughout the year, especially if they come out with the Sony A7 V. This price is definitely going to drop. Again, if you're just joining on the stream, what I'm doing is I'm going through some of my favorite tools that I use for content creation. And yeah, just kind of chit chatting. Let me know if you're just hopping on the stream. Let me know down in the chat. Let's see. Squid Paul says, "Hey Tyler, good morning from Dubai." Good morning. Wow, Dubai is. What time is it in Dubai right now? You say good morning. Let me know down in the chat. Let's keep going. So we have. Next on the list is the obvious one, right? It's the thing that you have in your pocket, and nobody wants to hear it, but nobody wants to, because it's not that, everybody's like, oh, I have an iPhone and stuff like that. But if you have like the iPhone 15 or the iPhone 16, those phones have like incredible power when it comes to the video and photo side of things. So I use my iPhone for a lot of stuff, and your iPhone is one of the things that's like, the barrier to entry, let's say probably about like 6 or 7 years ago with like a phone, was a lot more people were pursuing like having a professional camera. But nowadays you like can create content, especially with like TikTok and Instagram. And a lot of people are just creating videos with their phone that's getting hundreds of thousands, if not millions of views. So use your phone. I use my phone for all kinds of stuff. I'll find myself out on location whenever I'm out doing photographs and stuff like that, just pulling out my phone just to capture extra content. So this is one of the most essential tools when it comes to content creation, at least for me anyways. Again, I don't have anything on as far as like Amazon, it depends on what phone you want, but there's a lot of good deals. I can't really speak to what your specific service is. That's a whole debate in and of itself. That's one that I would love to know. Let me know down in the comments. Are you a Verizon person or are you an AT&T person? I don't want to disclose which one I am yet. Let me know down in the comments. Wow, it's 1 a.m. in Dubai. Well, thanks for, I'm assuming that maybe you haven't went to bed yet, but thanks for hopping on the stream. That's awesome that you're here. Let's see. Shutterstruck says it's 2:19 a.m. in India. Well, thank you again, too, for being here, Shutterstruck. That's awesome that you guys are hanging out. What are you guys doing up this late? It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. You guys, are you working on videos? What are you guys doing? All right, let's keep going. Now, I couldn't find it. There is another thing that I like. There's an actual neck mount or a neck. I would call it a mount, I guess. It's kind of like a GoPro mount. I wish I could find it here somewhere. I'll show you it here on Amazon, but it's basically what you can do is you can attach your phone. You wear this little necklace and you can attach your phone to it. I'll show it here on Amazon in just a second. So let me just pull it up on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Where are we at? Yeah, here it goes. Yeah, so what we have here, there's a bunch of different companies that make this style, but what you can do is you get one of these and you can just attach your phone to it and you can get behind the scenes content that way. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll just put that thing on, and then if I'm out getting like taking photos and stuff and I want to get BTS content, I can just have that guy just hanging out there on the mount, and I can just record myself doing everything that I'm doing throughout my day. And it's really easy. Just like, press record, leave that thing on there, and then you're good to go. Now, the alternative to that is the Insta360 Go 3S. And this is what I got a little bit earlier this year. I really like this camera a lot. It's super helpful. So what we have here, this is the Insta360 Go 3S. It doesn't come with a bag, unfortunately. You got to buy that separately. But this little guy is awesome. Like, he's like this small of a camera, is like the same size of my thumb. It has the housing here, which kind of charges. It has like a flip up screen. I'll show you. Yeah. So if you want to like put this inside of here, you can do that. Let me see if the battery's charged. Hopefully it is. You guys are going to hate me if it's not. Yeah. So you can see right here. Yeah. Where it has like the vlog screen here. And then what you can do is you can actually take the camera out and you can kind of view this as an external monitor, which is really cool. So what I do is I have this little pendant here that you can wear around your neck. So you can take this guy, stick him on like so. And then if you want to shoot vertically, you can shoot vertically like so. So if you're doing something for like Instagram Reels or TikTok, hopefully you guys can see that. If you're shooting vertically, you can do it like this. If not, you can also turn it like so. And this actually has a way for you to be able to lock the horizon. So depending, you can actually recrop it in the app to be able to shoot it or have it just recropped for Instagram or like long form content, something shot in horizontal. And I really like this hat clip that they have as well. And I don't necessarily use it for just putting it on my hat. What I'll do is I can stick it to my chest and then stick this inside of here, and it allows you to be able to swivel it up and down. So there's been a lot of times where I've just stuck this thing to the plate and it's been pointing down to the ground. So in order to fix that, I can just put the hat clip on there. It's magnetic, and then kind of rotate it up a little bit. So rotate it up so that way you can be able to see what's actually going on in front of you. Gives you more of that POV view, and that way you can tell that you have everything that you need in the shot. So that's the Insta360 Go 3S. There's a few different versions of this. This is I believe the 128 gigabyte. So it records inside of the camera. It doesn't take like an SD card or anything like that. It records inside of the camera, and you can sync it to your phone, or you can just plug it in to your computer, which is the one that I prefer. Plug it into your computer, and you can just pull all of your stuff right into wherever you store all of your media and stuff like that. But really, really good tool. I'll go ahead and I'll pull it up here so you guys can see what it's going for right now. Yeah, so this is it here. I have the 128 gigabyte black 4K. It's going for like $429.99. Now they do make a 32 gigabyte. So let's go 32 gigabyte. You don't have to necessarily get they come in all kinds of different sizes. This is like a whole kit, so it's a little bit more expensive. But like the 64 gigabyte, you can see it's $399.99. And then you have this is the Go 3S. This one's 128 gigabytes as well. But I think this is just the camera. This doesn't come with like the housing and everything like that. So they are a little bit on the pricey side. It's just about kind of like a GoPro. But this is what I felt like was going to be best for me. I was torn between getting like the GoPro or getting this, and this seemed like more conducive to my workflow. So I went with the Insta360 Go 3S. But this goes with me everywhere just to have. One thing that I love is that I can show you guys. This is probably one of my favorite things about it, is that I can just take it and I can stick it to anything that's metal. So I really like that I can stick that anywhere and get some crazy camera angle that I wouldn't normally be able to get if I just, if I didn't have a tripod or anything packed with me. So super clutch. Love this thing. Goes with me everywhere. All right, let's see what we got next on the list. Let's see. I think we had a couple of guys in the chat dropping some stuff. So let's see. Yes, I'm watching some live surfing event. Stoked to see the notification that you're going live. I missed the previous live streams. Well, this is 4 weeks in a row, so thanks for hopping on. and we're going to continue to keep doing this thing. Because if you guys, if I keep getting positive feedback for this, then this is one of those things. If it's something that you're enjoying, is helpful, I want to find a way to interact with you guys more often than just in these YouTube videos and in the comment section, which it gets hard to respond to sometimes. So if I'll try to put these notifications out sooner. What I need to do better about is getting these things scheduled for the week so that it's on you guys' radar, because I know you guys are all probably pretty busy, and I just want to be able to put it on your radar in enough time to where if you want to be able to be on the stream, that you have some notice. That way I'm not just dropping it on you like the last minute on a Friday type of thing. And I feel like 3:30 is probably a better time on Fridays, but we're just going to have to see. It seems like there's a lot more participation in this stream than there was in previous streams where I was doing it like 7 o'clock at night. That's probably because just the way that the time that my audience is on YouTube. But yeah, thanks for being on the stream, Squid Paws. That's awesome. Glad to have you here. Shutterstock says, was watching Start Trails and your notification came that you are live. Well, so glad that you're here, man. Let's keep going. We got next up, we have perfect. So the Sony B1M B10. So this is another microphone actually that I use, and I love this microphone. This is the B1M, Sony B1M microphone. It comes with like a dead cat on top. It has all these customizable settings on the back, which are super helpful. Love this microphone. You've probably seen a lot of folks use this. There's the B1M and then there's the B10. The only difference between the B1M and the B10 that I know of is that the B10 is a little bit longer. The B1M is a little bit longer. That's this one. And the B10 is a little bit shorter. And a lot of people prefer the B10 over the B1M because if they're using a really wide angle lens, you can actually see some of this in the frame. So it can be kind of a pain in the butt. But I love this lens. You don't need any batteries or anything. All you have to do, and I'll show you real quick, is take this little protector off of the hot shoe. We'll take our camera real quick. I'm going to take the protector off of it as well. And then what happens is to power up this microphone, all you have to do is just stick this inside, lock it down, and now your mic is working. And you can change it so that it's different directions. So right now it's set to get the area right in front, but you can also have it set to capture in a circular motion so that if you're talking behind the camera, if you're talking to somebody, it'll capture your audio clearly through the back. And then there's a bunch of like noise cancellation. You can also just turn it on an auto setting, which is what I use a lot of times, which makes it really helpful for just not having to worry, just putting it on your camera, not worrying about any batteries, not worrying about if you press or you had your actual, there's been too many times with my Rode mic that I didn't have the actual microphone turned on and I didn't capture any audio in the camera. So this is just makes my life so much easier, not having to worry about anything. If I'm vlogging, I can just talk right to the camera like so, and it's going to capture some really crisp and clear audio. Love this shotgun microphone. It's by far my favorite one that I've ever used. This is the B1M. The B10 is the exact, like the only difference between the two is probably it's captured. I don't really have that much experience with the B10, but it probably captures just as good of audio, just probably not as far of a distance because the microphone is shorter than this microphone here. But love this microphone. Let me go ahead and pull it up on Amazon. It's not the cheapest microphone, but it's definitely the most convenient microphone that I've ever owned. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. And I'll pull up the B10 as well. So here we have this is the ECM B1M, and it comes with the dead cat inside of it. It comes with this pouch right here, which is really nice. It's got plenty of space in here for you to stick the microphone in with the dead cat on it. I've had microphones where I've had cases that you couldn't fit it inside with the dead cat on it. So that's really convenient. But this one's really nice. It shows you a little bit closer in the settings that I was talking about. So you have the digital and the analog settings. In most situations, you're always going to use the digital setting. And then you have the different directions on this side here. So you have, in front of you have more from left to right. And then you have, left, right, and behind. And then you have the circular, which doesn't go out as far and captures audio as it captures in a circular direction. And then you have your noise cancellation, and you just a lot of manual settings that you can go in and adjust as well. But let's go look at the ECM B10. I'll show you that price as well. And you see this one's a little bit shorter. This one's great for vlogging. But any of the cameras, the Sony cameras that have the electronic hot shoe mount, you'll be able to plug these in, and you're going to get some really good, some really clear audio. So this one's a little bit cheaper, $198. It's got that dead cat. And honestly, this might be the better of the two. Just at the time, for what I was working on, it just seemed like the B10, or I'm sorry, the B1M was the one that I was going to use the most. And I do use it a lot. I don't have that issue as far as like being so wide to where I see the microphone in the frame, but I'm sure there are instances where people have that issue. Let's go on to the next one. We have, all right. So next we have, let me go ahead and get it all over here. This is just goes for any lens, but this is just, this is a camera lens. So if you're in the market for a camera lens, I can't recommend this lens enough. Right here, I have the Sigma 24 to 70 millimeters. And for anyone that's a content creator, 24 to 70 is so good because it captures a variety of everything that you're going to need. It captures wide, it captures tight. It's good for landscapes. It's good for portraits. It's good for establishing shots in your videos. It's good for tight shots in your videos. It literally does it all. And if you have a camera that you can actually change into crop mode like this one, I can apply a 1.5 times crop to this at 70 millimeters, and I can get even more. So I think that's like 85 millimeters that it punches out to. So I cannot recommend this lens enough. The Sigma 24 to 70 is the one that I recommend for anyone that's getting into this, is kind of on a budget. Because if you look at the Sony 24 to 70, it's a little bit more expensive, but I love this Sigma glass. This is super, there's no real like downsides in my opinion, because it's super sharp. And I've recommended this to other guys, other YouTubers, and they have this lens as well. And I've heard nothing but good feedback about it. So the 24 to 70 Sigma is really nice. And it's a lot of people will say that a 24 to 70 just makes you a lazy creator. But if you're a content creator and you understand the grind, or, you're definitely looking for simplicity in your process, 24 to 70 cannot recommend enough. Let me pull it up here on Amazon real quick. Let me know we got a few more things on the list. You guys let me know down in the comments or in the chat. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the tool so far. These things have been lifesavers for me. Or is any of this helpful? I know some of these things are a little bit more expensive, but some of these things I've honestly, coming up, I've had these things for years. I didn't want to recommend anything, honestly, that I didn't think was actually useful or didn't actually help me. So what we have up here is the Sigma 24 to 70. So this here it's FE mount. So this is a full frame lens. So it's not going to have any kind of crop or anything like that unless you're using a crop body. So if I were to put this 24 to 70 on this A6500, which is an APS-C lens, or I'm sorry, APS-C sensor, it would have a 1.5 time crop on it. So I wouldn't be getting to take advantage of that full 24 millimeters. So that's the only caveat, is that you're not going to be able to take advantage of the full 24 millimeter if you're trying to go for wider shots, but still really, really good. It's going for $995 right now. Let's look at it compared to the Sony 24 to 70 millimeter. And you know what? You can probably find this lens even cheaper if you buy it used. So we're looking at that's actually pretty comparable. Let me double check. No, that's because that's the Sigma. Okay. Sorry, that's the new one. The 2. The one that I have is the 1. And I don't think that you really need to upgrade to the 2 unless you want to spend the extra money. There's probably some newer features and things like that. But honestly, I don't really think you need to. This is the one I was talking about. The $2298 is literally $1,000 cheaper to get the Sigma. And this is the new G Master 2. But you can see that the difference, and you're definitely getting what you pay for whenever you buy G Master. But it's just one of those things that if you're on a budget, you're just getting into content creation, you're trying to figure out if this is going to be more than a hobby, you might want to go with the Sigma just because it's a little bit more inexpensive. At least that's what my thought process was whenever I was purchasing mine. And I've continued to have mine. I haven't had any need to buy a 24 to 70. Now, don't get me wrong. If someone was to offer me a 24 to 70 at a reasonable price that was G Master, especially if it's the G Master 2, I'd probably take them up on it. It just depends on what the price was. But at this time, it's not something that I absolutely need. But you can see that 24 to 70 glass can get pretty expensive. And let's just look and see if we can find the Sigma. Let's find it used. We might not be able to find it like this used, but let's look right here. And then we'll see if we have some buying options down here. So yeah, you can see like 919, not anything too crazy, but you're going to be spending roughly around like $800, $900, somewhere around that ballpark. So let's go ahead and we'll see what we got next on our list. Let's check the comments real quick, the chat. Squidpaw says, I've been looking at getting that Sony mic as well, but I already have the Rode Video Go 2. Yeah, that's the one with 32-bit float. It's a great mic. You know, I understand your situation. So if it's, you know, I believe, you know, the Rode Wireless, is it the Rode Video Go or is it Rode Wireless Go? Is that what you're saying? The Go 2? The new ones that just came out, those are great mics. So it's one of those things. It's like, I don't know if I'd be able to justify it either. I actually bought that mic before the Rode wireless mics came out. So the only reason I got the DJI mic is, and that's why I didn't spend as much, was because the DJI mic was something, I wanted something that was like you could stick to your shirt really easily, but it wasn't super expensive. So that's why I just bought something, or just bought the one for just specific situations where I might need it. But I get you there. What's the difference in art and contemporary Sigma lens? Well, let's look it up and see, because I cannot tell you that off the top of my head. And maybe I should know that answer, but I can find it out for you real quick. But yeah, I've had Sigma glass. I mean, that's a lot of the glass. Sigma, the art lenses, like this is the 30 millimeter. I still have this lens from, I mean, these are really inexpensive lens for like the crop sensor cameras, and you can put this on your full frame. You're just going to have a little bit of a crop if you're doing like video work. Now, if you put this crop sensor lens on your full frame camera, you are going to lose some megapixels whenever you do your photography. So this 35, it turns into something like a 45, 47, something like that, whenever you put it on a full frame lens, and you get about half the megapixels. So let's say I should somewhere like 14 megapixels is what the if I put it on my A7 IV and I take a picture with this, versus what it normally has with a full frame lens, which is 33 megapixels, which 14 megapixels is not, it's not that bad for social media content. But if you're doing like a print or something on your wall, you're definitely going to want to have something that's a lot higher than 14 megapixels. So it says that art lenses prioritize exceptional image quality and optical performance, while contemporary lenses aim for a balance between good quality and portability, making them more compact and lightweight. So they're just, I guess the contemporary lenses are more compact and lightweight. Thanks for asking that question, because that is something that I now know. So that was, I appreciate that. Squidpaw says, sorry, it's the shotgun Rode Video mic Go 2. Okay, got you. But I also do have the wireless Go 2. Yeah, I actually have that. I don't have the 2, but I have the original one. But that thing had like a wire. I could probably. Yes, I do. This is I think this is the 1. The Rode Wireless Go 1 video. I can't remember, but this has like the fixed wire that you can't take out or anything like that. And this is the one that was always, I would always forget to have the mic turned on whenever I was recording, and it drove me insane. So that's why I decided, and this dead cat on here doesn't even really fit properly. I probably have the wrong one on it. I don't know. It said it was for this mic, so it was supposed to fit, but this mic has definitely seen its better days, and it's not something that I really use anymore. I should probably sell it, but we'll just see. I don't know. I just have it here for a rainy day in case I need it. Squidpaw said, do you have a favorite prime lens? Yeah, I think my favorite prime lens is probably the Sony 85 millimeter. If I had to guess for like portraits, it's probably Sony 85. It's not my favorite thing to do shoots with, but it's between like an 85 and a 50 millimeter. Some people prefer like a 35, but it's, for me, I think right now between that, it's either the Sony 50 millimeter or the Sony 85 millimeter. And the 85 that I'm talking about is I can show you real quick on Amazon. Let me just pull it up real quick. It's not the most expensive. It's pretty inexpensive, honestly, for what it is. It's and this is full frame, but this is the 85 1.8. Here, I got it pulled up right here. Yeah, so we have right here, it's $548. This is an incredibly sharp lens to not be a G Master lens. This thing is off the chain. Love this. and it takes really, really good portraits. 85 is probably one of my, the only thing I don't, whenever I'm doing like photo shoots and stuff, I like to be a little bit closer to my subjects. Some people, if you prefer to have a little bit of distance between you and your subjects, this is a perfect lens for that. And the compression that you get from this lens is really good. So it just flows between a 50 and an 85 millimeter for a prime, but I use this prime lens all the time. All right, let's see what we got next on our list. Okay, so next we have on our list, I can't really show you right now because it is the light that I'm using to light this video. And I've had this light, I can say probably longer than I've had probably about as long as I've had this little camera right here. But this is the Godox SL60W. So when I was in the market looking for a light for my actual YouTube setup, I was looking at like your Aputure 120D Mark IIs and was Mark Ones at the time, and then or your like Amaran lights, and everything was like really, it was like $200 and above. I'm pretty sure even the Aputure 120D is going for like 800, 600 bucks right now. And so this light is the best budget light that I have found for a YouTube setup. And let me just pull it up on Amazon real quick. I can show you what it's going for right now. I'm pretty sure it's like literally $100. It's super cheap and it is so good and bright. There's no situation that I'm in whenever I'm filming a YouTube video where it's not sufficient enough. It's not bright enough. Yeah, it's the Godox SL60W. There's other options that are out there. This is the cheapest option that I've found, and it's also the highest quality for your budget. And it's not like, this is not a cheap light, and just in my opinion anyways, this light is really good for what I need it to do. As there hasn't ever been the only thing that I don't like about it, I get you, the downside to it, it's not bicolor. As a photographer, videographer, cinematographer, I do prefer to have that bicolor option because that way I can kind of sync up my lights with the colors of the different lights. That way the lighting I have in my scene is more motivated. That's the only downside of this light, is it's not bicolor, but some people just prefer that daylight temperature. That's what this one has here. And the thing that the next one on the list that goes along with it is to have a softbox. And this is a pretty inexpensive softbox. Granted, it's not cheap, but it's cheaper than what the light domes are for Aputure's light domes. And, I'm not bashing Aputure by any means. I think they make great products. I actually have one of the Aputure 120Ds, and I have the light dome, and I have the light dome too, which is great because it's collapsible and I can take that and travel with that. But these are things that I have fixed here just in my YouTube setup, and they get the job done. Really simple. Get the one with the grid on it because it is just, you can directionally, you can point your light where you want it to go. So love this, love this, love this. Can't say enough about this Godox. I can't remember where I heard, but whenever I found out about this light, it was a complete game changer because I was like, you can actually get a high quality light for your YouTube setup. I mean, because what I was using before were like old photography can lights they were not good. Or I was like creating like bounce lights that I learned from like a Peter McKinnon video back in the day, where you just pointed at like a particle board that you use for like a science project and then bounce it back towards you. The light was super harsh and it was terrible. But once I found this light, saved me so much trouble and just made my process so much easier. But yeah, the Godox light with the light dome that goes with it, really, really nice. Love this stuff. Let's see what we got next. Squidpaws says, yes, that's such a nice lens. That 85 f1.8 and the 20 f1.8 was my first two lenses. I have not used the 20 millimeter, and I'd love to know, what do you think about, is it wide enough for you, like compared to like a 24 millimeter? Is it something that's sharp enough to use for vlogging? Because I can't remember, is the 20 f1.8, is it a crop sensor lens? I don't know, but I've been thinking about the 20 millimeter as well, using it for like vlogging and stuff like that. Shutterstruck says, after the kit lens, the new glass feels like the Earth to Moon kind of difference. I got after the. Oh yeah. I got 18 to 105 f4, and it looked way better than the 28 to 70. Oh yeah, I still have. Surprisingly, I actually have that 28 to 70 right here. And this thing has got like collected dust. I haven't used this kit lens ever, I don't think, and don't think there's ever been a reason to, because when I bought the A7 IV, I bought the Sigma 24-70 to go with it. But yeah, it's a night and day difference whenever you get yourself something different from like a kit lens. I can't recommend that enough. When you're buying yourself a camera, you're probably going to want to get yourself. You could definitely get away with the kit lens. I don't want to tell you that you can't. With some good lighting, you can get away with the kit lens, I think. But your money is better spent if you get yourself like a pretty inexpensive, like 18-105, or an inexpensive, which I don't know. I'm not sure what the 18-105 is going for right now. Or get yourself like a 50 millimeter or a 20 millimeter, like what was said earlier. Get yourself like that nice wide. Just depends on what your situation is. But yeah, it's funny you say that, because this little guy has not. I probably used him once or twice. Let's see. Squidpaw says, yeah, I sold my 28-70 for 150 USD. Yeah, I should probably sell mine, because that thing just sits up there and just collects dust. All right, let's see what we got next on the list. All right, next, this next thing that I have here was something that I stumbled upon it's probably by actual luck. This thing has been with me when I went to Sweden a few years ago. I've taken it with me up to Jackson Hole, Wyoming to do photographing. I've taken it with me to, it's been all over the place with me. It's been to Utah. It's been multiple different places with me. And I don't think very many people know about it. And I picked it up in a camera store in Japan just because I needed a tripod. And I think I've spent like $30 on this thing. Everybody likes the, really, I even like it. I haven't bought it yet. Is the Peak Design tripod, because it's like small form factor. It's like it doesn't have, or a small footprint. It doesn't take up that much space. But what I have is this is called, excuse me. This is the Velbon EX444N. I bought this in Japan. There's like Japanese. I can speak a little bit Japanese, but I can't really read any Japanese at all. Whenever I was over there, I was always using Google Translate to be able to figure out what was like the different words and stuff on the boxes and on their menus and stuff. But this here is super light. It fits inside of the drink pouch on my camera bag, and it's not like, it doesn't weigh anything at all. It's solid. It's made out of metal. It's solid. But it has enough weight to it to where like it doesn't like fall over. You don't have to worry about it blowing over in the wind. And so some of the pieces, like the actual legs on it, are metal. The top ball head portion some pieces are made out of plastic. So you kind of, it's one of those things. There's trade-offs, but I love the fact that this is small. I can take it in my suitcase, or I can take it with me on my camera bag, and it doesn't take up a whole bunch of space. And it's a full-size tripod. It's not like one of those mini tripods or anything like that. It's a full-size tripod that'll at least stand up to probably about, I don't know, maybe almost 6 foot. I don't know if it goes all the way up to 6 foot, but close to it. So it can stand up tall enough for you to be able to stand up and talk to the camera and take any shots that you want to take. But cannot recommend this enough. I use this for my YouTube setup, but I also use it with me. I take it more on the go. The tripod that I have for my YouTube setup, I actually bought that one in Japan as well. And I couldn't even tell you, it's a very old tripod. I think the brand of it is Slick. Video Sprint Deluxe is what it says on there. So that one is made out of solid metal, and it's not. So I probably spent $15 on that one, but it's a strong, sturdy one. I bought that one, I think, at a pawn shop. But let me go ahead and pull that up on Amazon real quick. And again, links will be in the description. After this video, I'll have all the links down in the description for all of these, all the things that I've went over today. Let me go ahead and find it. Let's see. Yeah, so here we have the Velbon 301-482 family tripod. It's only $51.03. And so if we look at, let's just go over here to, let's just see what Peak Design, how much their travel tripod is. Let's get tripod. Oops, I'll just click here. Yeah, so you have the aluminum one, and then you have the carbon fiber one, which is $600. The aluminum one, I would definitely probably it's one that I would probably get because I'm not really worried about having the carbon fiber. This is a really nice tripod, and everybody that I've ever talked to that has one swears by it. It's so good, but the difference in price is insane for what this tripod does. Now, some people are going to say, well, it's not comparable to like the build quality and everything of the Peak Design. I can't necessarily speak from experience of having the Peak Design tripod to compare the two. That's why I'm just saying that this is from my experience. This tripod has checked all the boxes. It has the little tripod plate on here, which is one of your standard, not like quick release. I mean, it's a quick release, but it's very like family friendly quick release. But that might be a good thing, but this is a really good tripod. It actually says, total height 60.2 inches. So yeah, it actually only goes up to about 5 feet, but it's still plenty high enough for you to be able to do what you need to do. Can't recommend this tripod enough. All right, let's go back and check the chats. Shutterstock says, I still have it as a decoration. Your 28 to 70 as a decoration. Me too. I kind of wish I kept it as well, just so that I have it. LOL. Yeah, I know it's one of those things. It's kind of like I don't know. It's one of those kind of things that just sits up as decoration. Maybe it'll be like an antique one day, but at the same time, it's like, it's one of those things. For me, I'm kind of like, it has some sentimental value, but this guy, honestly, what has more sentimental value is this A7 IV, because I've done a lot more with this thing than I have with this old 28 to 70. Shutterstock said, Potato Jet has a tripod I'm saving to get. That one cannot recall the name. Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I didn't know that Potato Jet had one. Tripod, okay. Is it the small reg? Yeah, small. Is it did in collaboration with yeah, I see it here. The Potato Jet tripod. Is that the one, like the hydraulic one that kind of can just move up and down? Like oh yeah, this thing's expensive if that's the one. Yeah, this one's like $7.99, but it looks, I mean, it's got a solid ball head on top, and yeah, it looks pretty legit. And it goes, yeah, I think that's the one that you're talking about. Let me know down in the chat. But how, this has been a good time. I've enjoyed myself. You guys, hopefully that you've gotten some value from this, just from, not having to buy all these things. I'm not saying you need to go out and go buy all this equipment that I have. Take just like onesies and twosies of these different things that I've had, and hopefully something here was like, there was an aha moment. Like, I definitely should, like, this is something that I need to pick up because it's going to make my workflow a whole lot simpler. Like, again, you don't need to go out and buy a Sony A7 IV. You don't even need to go out and buy a Sony A6500, which these things are probably not that expensive these days. All it really starts with is your phone, and you get yourself a good microphone, and you can, make a ton of good content with that. I didn't go over any crazy like computers or anything like that. I'm a Mac person. That's one of those things that's probably stirring the pot, because I know some people are like strictly Windows, and whatever helps you get what you're trying to get done, makes your process as simple as possible. That's what I say go with. And I don't really have too much of an opinion on, because there's certain things that I like Windows for as well. But I really love, I can honestly say I'm a Mac guy. But yeah, hopefully you guys are getting some value from this. This has been a good time. Yes, that one is super expensive, but for quick setup and shoot, it's the one. I'm going to check this out after the stream. I'm going to look into it. I'll probably check out one of Potato Jet's videos. I'm sure he's done a review on it, or just kind of talked about it on his channel, and I'll check it out. But yeah, no, this thing looks legit. Let me show these guys it on the stream. So this tripod right here is going for $799 right now, and it's got like it's got a nice fluid ball head on it, but it just I think it has like, it can adjust on its own, right? And make it so that everything is level. Yeah, this thing is pretty serious. But yeah, one day we'll see. All right. Well, I'm not going to take up too much more of you guys' time. This has been fun. It was nice catching up with all you guys. Thanks for hopping on the stream, for everyone. And if you're here on the replay, thank you so much for watching. hopefully you guys got some value from this. Again, links are going to be in the description if you guys want to check any of these products out. And I will see you guys in the next one. You guys enjoy your weekend.